Another Hall of Fame football coach, the great Frank Leahy of Notre Dame, once said, "A school without football is in danger of deteriorating into a medieval study hall." When your school can fit that definition while fielding the football team, you know you have it bad. Meridian High School, before my dad's arrival in 1974, was just such a place. There is no town at Meridian, and the community where we're located is an unincorporated wide spot on the highway called Laurel, where there isn't and never has been a grocery store, community center, or even a post office. And in 1974, the Meridian School District owed the dubious distinction of having the poorest tax base of any district in the state and teetered on the brink of being carved up and absorbed by much larger neighboring districts. And yet my dad took the job to coach the football team and teach history and PE 2 weeks before the 1974 season started, after picking up the application on a whim while on a visit from North Bend with my mom to her family in the area. It was her family who told him, "You don't want that job." The school district had become the dumping ground for the rest of Whatcom County's undesirable and outcast students. The district was literally taking anybody, and the culture of the high school was truly that of a medieval study hall, with a team and a community lacking resources, lacking accomplishment, lacking pride. To get from that point to this one here tonight for my dad, and probably all of our inductees really, is to recognize not only the successes they've had, but the longevity. The successes for a coach are easily documented for those who may not personally know him. Wins, championships, records show up in the newspaper and state programs. But I'd like to think of my dad's longevity at a place like Meridian and the innumerable contributions over a career now spanning into its 5th decade that he's made to a school and district that will leave all of us from the Meridian community most proud of this honor. I know all of us coaches weather storms in our careers in the name of what's right for kids in our school communities, and we all make sacrifices for our kids and our schools. But I know not every coach within his first decade of coaching has faced petitions led by school board members to have him fired, only to be backed by those community members who believed in him in the program. I know not every coach has teamed with community members to build the school's first weight room with their bare hands and donated materials. I know not every coach founds the school's first booster club. I know not every coach has worked doggedly and resolutely for 10 years before bringing his school its first league championship in history. I know not every coach is the first one called by players whose alcoholic fathers chased them out of the house with a loaded gun. I know not every coach has risked his reputation to stand before the WIAA to petition for handicapped players' eligibility. I know not every coach drives to the home of migrant workers the morning of a state playoff game to pick up 2 brothers who didn't show up to ride the chartered bus because their parents couldn't afford to pay the team fee. I know not every coach, although earning the lowest coaching salary of any head coach in the county, splits up his salary to help pay assistants. I know not every coach has the patience, the fortitude, and the commitment to guide a team to a state championship for the first time in his 26th year at the school. In the 38 years my dad has been at Meridian, some things haven't changed. We still lack resources, we still don't have a town, we still don't have a post office. But we do have a community center now. It's the football field on a Friday night, much as it is in many of your communities, especially probably the small ones. In building the football program, my dad has given our school, which had never won, a winner. He has given the school which had never had the discipline to match its inherent toughness, rigor, and focus. He has given a community that lacked accomplishment, confidence, and pride. For a community that historically has had nothing to hang its hat on, we have the increasingly rare distinction in this economic climate of being one of the very few districts who have passed a construction bond to build a new high school. In the nearly 4 decades that have passed since we were the poorest, least respected district, to one which will open a new state-of-the-art high school in the next 1.5 years, our one constant has been Bob Ames and the football program, which has brought our community together. So on behalf of those old-timers in our community who stood by their coach during the lean years, so on behalf of Meridian High School, and on behalf of my brothers, my sisters, and my mom, I present my dad, Bob Ames, for induction into the Hall of Fame of the Washington State Coaches Association.
Thank you, Patrick. Yes, you can continue to come over for dinner. I'd like to thank the family for coming. We have one daughter flying the friendly skies someplace. My best friend from college, teammate, Al Levine and his wife Betty, who came to this pretty cool thing. I'd like to congratulate the fellow inductees and the young man who just won the Terry Ennis scholarship. It's a great honor, to win anything. And for the four of us, and I know for me, this is an awesome honor to be part of a brotherhood of the best coaches in the state of Washington. As a young assistant in 1967 at Mount Si, I had a great fortune to be mentored by a great group of coaches. They taught me about being a good guy, what a husband looked like and how he acted, and a parent, and a role model. I'd like to thank Pat Alexander, Bob Ryman, Fred Lawrence, Marlon Jensen, and Francis Kelly for raising me as a young coach. I'd like to share this honor with all the players that put the black and white on and have gone through our two-a-days and sweated, persisted, persevered, and worked towards a common goal in their commitment. They changed not only their own, but the collective self-image of a school and a community into something positive. It was a very awesome thing for me to have a small part in that. I'd like to share this honor with the assistant coaches, who I know the time away from family is precious, and we do turn out forever. Finally, I share this with my family. The true Hall of Famer in this family is my wife, Pam. She raised 5 great kids and 1 spoiled Hawaiian. All those years, I was the bye-bye daddy. I spent most of my time with other people's kids. Teaching, coaching, driver's editing, and yeah, 26.5 years at U.S. Customs. Get up at 5 in the morning, milk the cow, shower, go to school, coach junior high, or junior varsity game, go home, milk the cow, put the uniform gun on, and go defend the borders. But the constant in our family while I was doing that was my wife Pam. Thank you very much for all the support. And those 0-10 seasons, those 0-9s and 1-8s, it didn't matter to her. Well, I was hoping all the steak knives had been put away, that I was going to fall on my sword when I got home. A smile, a kiss, and a hug, and it was all better. Ever supportive, ever loving, except when we play Nuxat. We have 3 or 4 nephews that have gone through the program, and the admonition before the game: don't you hurt those boys. This year, the last of the nephews went down with an injury in our game with him. She doesn't have red hair for nothing. All my children went to Meridian. We live in the Mount Baker district. My 3 boys played football for us and still maintain ties to the program. Patrick is our offensive coordinator, the brains, obviously, you've seen in the outfit. And my other 2 boys stay as much as involved with us as they can, their time and other responsibilities and commitments that they have to honor. After losses, my 2 daughters, when they were little, would come up: Dad, we're going to go beat those guys up. No, sweetie, we're not going to do that yet. I will try in the twilight of my years to earn this honor and live up to the standards that these gentlemen set, that I hope to live up to. And who I joined tonight as a member of this Hall of Fame. Thank you very, very much.
We